What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, that Pens fan 412, and I'm back at you with another Penguins victory. That's right. The Toronto Maple Leafs fall to the Pittsburgh Penguins in Toronto. I feel like there's another YouTuber out there who's having a really rough time of it right now. Or not, I don't know. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine because the Penguins won again in Toronto. I have to admit, from a team that's had a very lengthy losing streak this season, like the Penguins, and only just recently having their first win out of that losing streak, I was very optimistic going into this game. I genuinely thought that the Pens were going to win just simply off of basic history of the last few years with the Penguins and the Maple Leafs. Usually, Pittsburgh either blows the Leafs out or it's a decent game, but Pittsburgh always ends up winning. And I thought, history's just going to repeat itself, and it did. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It wasn't a blowout or anything like that. It was more or less a 3-2 game the entire time, but, empty nets are empty nets, and eventually, you shoot on it enough times, you're going to get that. So, let us start from the beginning. First period. Let me just go ahead and say, first of all, Casey DeSmith is in net for us. Shelgren, is that how you pronounce it? Is in net for the Leafs. At this point, I'm starting to think Casey DeSmith might be getting more starts because he is the better-looking goaltender in the crease there. Or at least he's amounting more wins than Jarry in the crease. And it's starting to show because Jarry's sitting on the bench all happy and smiles, but in reality he's thinking, man, I'm really screwing this up. Probably. I don't know. Or maybe he's hurt and we're just not talking about it. So into the first period, the entire time that Zach Aston-Reese is out there, my brain is going, he's going to score. He hasn't scored with Toronto yet. He hasn't really done anything for Toronto yet, but it's against the Penguins. We know how these things go, and sure enough, 13 minutes into the first, he gets his first goal. Second goal. When did he get his first one? That's crazy. It just goes to show I don't pay attention to them once they're not Penguins anymore. But he got his second goal. Second time that he's really done anything for Toronto against his former team in Toronto. The fans didn't... they don't really cheer that hard. For a team that, you listen about Toronto fans and how passionate they are about their team and how much they support them. And when they fail, how much they make them know that they're failing. And they're always there. There wasn't really that much cheering going on to open up the scoring of the game for Toronto. I guess maybe they just thought that Aston-Reese scored on his former team and he's still playing for them, so it was just an own goal by accident, right? I don't know. I'm not a Toronto fan, so I don't know what they think. But he scores, and as a Penguins fan, you just go, oops, that sucks. Every time that happens, it sucks. Every single time. But quite literally, right at the end of the period, right, Malkin is battling it out. Right? He is just... This man was on a different level in this game. A level that I haven't really seen him... I've seen him try to get to the level, but he hasn't succeeded. But now he's getting to that level again, right? And his goal from Chad Rudivel. Chad Rudivel just rips it on the net, and Malkin's just like, I got you, bro. Puts it in the back of the net and celebrates like he just won the Olympics. He's making all kind of hand gestures and stuff like something happened that we didn't see or anybody was talking about, or sure, the refs probably didn't see, because when do the refs ever see anything beneficial for anybody? Let's talk about Chad Rudivel for a second. That man had a huge hit in this game. Chad, of all people. Chad, you got run over by Chad Rudival. Yeah, remember that. But yeah, so the game's 1-1, goes into the second period, and oopsie-daisy, who would have thought Evgeny Malkin once again, thank you, cell phone, once again playing like Evgeny Malkin's always played. And he has literally one of the best passes I've seen him do in recent years. To Zucker, who is wide open. They're talking about Rasmus Sandin, the guy that held out for a contract for Toronto, who's on the ice, who's defending this play, miserably, mind you, miserably, because Malkin just passes it to Zucker, who is wide open on his offhand. He one-times it. Shelgren, poor guy. I know all about watching goaltenders get left out to dry by their defense. We've seen it a lot in Pittsburgh. Poor fella. Thanks. You know, Zucker gets his his fourth of the season. Gets his fourth. Little 1T action, just right in the back of the net. But it ain't over yet. The competition is very, very strong. Toronto is a very good offensive team, and when you give a very good offensive team a power play, they have a very good offensive power play. The problem is for Toronto is you see them doing all these fantastic passes, but there's no execution. And when I watch that power play, I'm thinking, like, I've seen this before. All these wonderful, spectacular passes, back and forth, left, right, center, everywhere. But no execution. Where have I've seen it in Pittsburgh. I've seen the exact same thing. When you have that much talent on the ice, everybody's passing the puck. Nobody's executing the puck. And then eventually, after doing this for a while, talent finally overcomes adversity for them. Because William Nylander puts it back in there on a power play. Just, okay. All right. It happens. What can I say? It is what it is. It's a 2-2 game, though. Rolling into the third period. And Dayton Heinen, the man of many surprises. He just does things out of nowhere that'll catch you off guard. Passes the puck to Brock McGinn. McGinn puts it in the back of the net. 3-2 Penguins, a minute and almost 2 minutes into the first. This leads this apparent thing for Toronto where they're always letting goals up in like the first 2 minutes of the period. I'll take it because it's a 3-2 lead that ends up being the game-winning goal. Because later on, we had 3 or 4 attempts at the empty net. Gets a breakaway with an empty net and is able to put it in. If he would have missed standing right in front of the empty net and putting it in, if he would have missed that, I would think that the Penguins are just cursed when it comes to empty net goals. They just can't put it in the net for whatever reason. But ultimately, the Pittsburgh Penguins capitalize and they get a 4-2 lead to end the game, defeating the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto 4-2. Pittsburgh gets a dub, second dub in a row. Let's continue this winning streak. Let's keep it going. And honestly, my takeaways from this game are that Casey DeSmith is a god in net. He has stopped the best that the Maple Leafs can have offensively. He stopped Matthews. He stopped John Tavares with a huge opportunity. Stonewalls him. John Tavares is like the best player Toronto's got this year, so his mind was blown. I'm sure he was just rocked for the rest of the game because he got stopped by Casey DeSmith. Our defense is looking better. Our penalty kill is looking better. Minus giving up a power play goal, but it's the Toronto Maple Leafs power play. Like, eventually they're going to get one. Keep giving them to them. 3 stars of the game. You've got Evgeny Malkin, first star, goal and an assist. Jason Zucker with a goal, second star. William Nylander, third star with a goal as well. Other than that, I'm just looking at the statistics here. Face-offs were 50-50 for either side, so it was a crapshoot who was going to win the face-off, which is pretty cool. We shelled them on hits. I'm just noticing this. 41 hits to 14. When did the Penguins become a hitting team? Yeah. Chad Rudeville, when did he start blowing people up? Because I want to see more of that. No, genuinely, I want to see more of that. Anyways, look, that's it, everybody. Pittsburgh defeats Toronto 4-2 in Toronto. This has been That Pens Fan 412. If you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike the video, go ahead and dislike it. I love honesty, people. And if you got any suggestions, comments, concerns, questions, anything you got, throw it towards the comments section below. And I will see you all in the future.